Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Toon review, where tonight we are match previewing the game at the Etihad on Sunday when we take on Manchester City in the Premier League, possibly against a very wounded animal going into it, but only time will tell on that one. I mean, Alex, I think you've been itching to get these to do this preview because the two Champions League games are out the way. Man City are severely wounded, and we face a massive task. But just a couple of things before we get going. Apparently, St. Maximin pulled Eddie Howe in his office the other day or yesterday to explain his remarks in a French news or magazine. Obviously, I did a video on that yesterday. I think naivety springs to mind, Danielle, about, Maxi making comments to magazines when we know what can happen. He claims it was taken out of context. I mean, judging by the replies I've got on that video that I did, there's a lot of people now just wanting him just to shut up and get on with the football.
That's exactly what we should be doing, is just let's focus on what's happening on the pitch and let Eddie Howe deal with it. How he sees fit, if there is anything to do with. I believe that newspapers are what they are and magazines are what they are, and if he's saying he's been misquoted or it's out of context or whatever, then I suppose we'll have to take his word for it. However, I thought it was pretty poor timing, considering what a great second half of the season we've had. However, again, in Eddie I trust, so I think he'll do the right thing with him, and he said he's going to speak. He said that they're going to speak to the players. Is that right? They're going to, make sure
something along them lines that they're going to try and make sure that there's no nastiness or any sort of crap from what they've said. I mean, for me, it's interesting because if I was a player, I'd certainly be angry with what I'd heard from St. Maximin. I really would. I'd be pretty pissed off actually, but. Alex, again, he says it's taken out of context. What do you think?
So I actually pulled up the website of the magazine in French and read it in French, put it through Google Translate, had a look at both of them. Yeah, he said what he said, but I think it has been twisted slightly. He's just talking about people finishing actions, general actions that are created on the pitch that he creates.
But he doesn't create that much. This is what I don't understand. He says that people aren't.
He's got the highest chances created outside.
Right. I knew you would come back with the stats, Alex. Right, and I appreciate that.
That is his name,
right?
Stato Alex. Yeah,
exactly, and I understand that. But the amount of, come on, he hasn't had a great second half to the season, if at all, the season really. I don't think he's been outstanding enough to say that he's on the same level as Mane. I mean, Jesus wept.
I think that's been taken massively out of context. I just feel like in himself, does he feel like he can get there? Does he have the technical and physical attributes to be like Mane? Possibly that's what he was trying to suggest. I don't think he's saying, I am as good as Mane right now, I'm amazing. I think he's just been blown well out of proportion. And it's been misreported as well. He went to Eddie Howe this morning. Not Eddie Howe pulled him in.
No, he went to Eddie Howe. He did, but is that out of sheer panic because it's come out in the press, or is that because it isn't right? I mean, who knows? But he shouldn't be doing interviews like that anyway, should he?
Oh, I agree. You just shouldn't do the interview. We've had a big shift in culture at the club with all the positivity, with all the players doing interviews and being a bit more vocal, which is positive. But this can happen. People can get misquoted.
Right, but Toonza makes a very, very good point here. I don't know how a Frenchman speaks to French media and is misquoted.
He's not misquoted. It's just the translation
context.
doesn't do him any favors. He's just talking about people converting actions. He wasn't talking about people converting his balls that were assists. Like it's the fine margins there. It is a bit hypercritical. I just think he shouldn't have done the interview. I'm not that bothered by his comments. I think it's just an accident. He didn't mean it to sound like that. He just generally meant as the team adds more quality.
Yeah.
People, he didn't mean it maliciously. I don't think so anyway. I think it's just been blown well out of proportion.
Well,
he is in transition. He's been a little bit poor recently, and he, just don't do the interview.
We have to hope that's the case, because obviously the last thing we need now is disruption in the dressing room, and people looking at each other going, "Oh, he said that. He reckons we're not good enough to be on the same pitch as him," and all of this crap. I hope it's been dealt with and it's forgotten about now, and just get on with the football, basically.
There was a president here, though, isn't there? I mean, Hassan Ben Arfa did exactly the same thing when he was at the club, and as a fan base, we kind of believed him. But I'm not so sure this is going to be the same thing with ASM.
Well, I mean, look, as I say, I can only go off what the comments have come back on the video that I did yesterday, and they're basically saying, let us, shut up and do your talking on the pitch, which doesn't just go for ASM, to be honest. This goes for, when we weren't, if you remember back before the takeover, when we weren't playing very well, Isaac Hayden came out with a crazy quote saying that, what was it? There's something about these new players that are going to come in are going to have to fight for the places to get in front of us.
Yeah,
Mickey's agent chatting nonsense as well. It's been right.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Jamal Lascelles coming out and saying all this. Various players keep coming out and saying how good they are and how brilliant, etc. But they need to do the talking on the pitch. Michael Marsden, thank you for your $44.99 super chat straight off the bat. Thank you so much. Hi, Paul, Danielle, Billy, Alex, and Susan. Hope you're all well. I think Susan's got a bit of a migraine tonight, so she's not modern. She's just listening behind the scenes. Dublin Magpie says, "What's the crack, people? I see a Desmond coming our way. Just have a feeling." Camera looks good, Billy, says Isaac. It's his phone, I believe, isn't it, Billy?
It is indeed, yeah.
Yeah. He's waiting for my huge... I'm not going to say that, actually, because that'll be taken way the wrong way. He's waiting for postage from myself. Coming with a camera and lights and stuff, so that should be with him next week. Kungle Fox says it's one of two ways: they're either gutted about the loss and we beat them, or they're riled up and they put 7 past us. Lewis, good evening. George says good feeling about Sunday. Alex, your contrast is insane. I don't know if you have a light on or something, but you look like a ghost.
Yeah, I've got funny Apple and non-Apple conflicting things that I don't have camera settings. It's my fault. I'll fix it.
Guys, you've got to remember, Alex is about to move back to the UK. The man is a busy man. The last thing he wants to know about is setup. Give him a break. And that's me being nice for once.
It is true, but yeah,
I'll
sort it out in a few weeks, hopefully.
Yeah. Abs's ASM was talking about the project for me and how he hopes it will help his development. Don't see much of an issue, really. Liam says, hello, everyone. Let's cause a big upset on Sunday. Ronald, don't think it was. Look at his face every time ASM messes a chance up. Interesting. Good evening, Majestic. Isaac says, Maxi also tweeted a reply to someone saying he isn't at the levels of Mane yet. I hope so, because he isn't. And one thing he can be is at that level if he understands, that he's got to get there, and Eddie Howe is going to help him get there, because the way Eddie Howe talks about him, Billy, he does want him to get there.
Yeah, and obviously that'll be a massive boost to us, won't it, as a star player. And also, we know ASM's got the ambition to do that because he's talking about Ballon d'Ors and all that kind of stuff. So mutually, it should work. But we've got to see the work from Maxi at the right end of the pitch. As Alex says, he's got the most goal contributions outside the top 6. But let's see more of that. Let's see more, because the position he gets himself into, I think actually should be higher than that. Yeah,
and I suppose it's not a bad thing for Maxi to have dreams of winning that and things like that. But we have to also acknowledge that he's got a way to go, and as long as he knows that, then we're onto a good thing, because if he wants to put his head down and work, which it seems like he does, then that's fine. This is I mean, I don't know whether you guys have seen this about the Alan Shearer statue. It's actually been done by a Sunderland firm. Eddie from Tyneside Life did a video today, and the guys that are doing the brickwork and everything are a Sunderland-based company. And
well, they're good. They're good at lifting things and moving things, Paul.
Oh, that's a good point. We'll move on from that, though, Billy. So it's interesting, and Amanda herself apparently has said that, "Oops, I made a mistake there," but that's by the by. At least it's getting moved now. But expect, if it ever gets moved again and dug up, there might be a couple of Sunderland shirts lying underneath the concrete. Who knows? We've got another super chat come in from Zishan Ahmed, 17.99. Thank you very much, Zishan. Hi guys, I've had enough of Maxi. Tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's not as good as he thinks. And then he comes out with those comments. Need to sell him and get Diaby. He's only 22 and has already made the French team. I think what's happened here is, because people have seen the comments, and they've immediately looked to what, and I said it in the video yesterday, they immediately, Danielle, looked to what Patrick Vieira has said, the French manager Didier Deschamps has said, about him being nowhere near the international level yet, because the talent is there, but the finished article isn't.
Yeah, he can't finish his dinner, can he? So, but I'm really trying to stay kind about it. I really am this time around, because I felt like last time I jumped on him and I shouldn't have done. Obviously, journalists.
I don't remember that, Danielle.
Yeah, well, Twitter does.
Yeah.
No, I just think journalists make a story of what they want to make a story of, and I think our media haven't done them that much good either, because they've obviously twisted it into Saints slagged his team members off. All's not well in the dressing room. All of this. It's just like it. I don't know. I just feel like, let's just see what he does on Sunday. Like, I'm not interested in this off the field stuff anymore with Maxi. I really hope his confidence improves and he gets a goal and he kicks on. That's what I want to say about it, really.
Yeah. Trolls, thank you for your 50 Norwegian kroner again, matey. Thank you so much. Regular contributor to the channel. And just to let everybody know, YouTube have got in touch with me yesterday and said that I've now been given the super thanks option as well. So if you miss the show live or you watch a recorded video, you can still super chat and donate to the channel, because it's called a thanks button. It's got a little dollar sign and a thanks button next to it. So if you miss the live show and you still want to contribute to the channel, you can from now on. So thank you to YouTube for doing that. Kath says, whose dog is joining in? I think it was Dipsy, wasn't it?
No,
walking past before.
Dipsy walking. I think it was a dog barking in the background somewhere.
It was mine going.
Right, you're right.
But yeah, Dipsy is here because it's like match preview time, and she's always here for match previews.
Indeed, she
loves it.
Yes, George says, great to see actual debates and not arguments. Exactly, that's what it's all about. It's debate and opinions, and we always will be like that, to be honest. Cesare says, if ASM's meaning was lost in translation, then I hold my hands up. I'll just carry on supporting him as long as he's wearing the black and white.
Nice,
Chippers also says ASM's been found out. Simple. As now wants everyone to forgive him. He needs a long, hard look at himself before slagging off others. I mean, look, I don't. If I'm genuinely being honest, I don't think. I don't think he was slagging anybody off. Look, we all can see that Chris Wood is not the type of player that we're going to have next season. It's just not going to happen. And he's not good enough. He's absolute bollocks, in fact. And I don't mind saying that. But, as long as they're going on the pitch wearing the black and white, we as Newcastle fans will support them. We just want to see things move forward.
I think, though, in the past, haven't all been tied up in the drama that's been going on in our club? Like,
without a doubt.
Fights in the training ground, all of that, carry on. It's been one drama after another until recent times. And I think we need to move away from that now and just trust in the players that wear the shirts, that they're here for the right reasons.
Indeed. George says, is this not part of the ASM strategy to cause unrest in the
Nah, I
Toon
don't think
camp?
so. I don't think so.
Nah. Well, look, time will tell on it, won't it? You know what I mean? Lascelles back to Forest in a swap deal with Brennan Johnson, I reckon, this summer. Julie says, can we all have a big shout out to Susan? Hope you feel better. Yeah, she's getting a horrible migraine again, so we need to send the love. As always, Jordan says he's waiting for your huge packages. He put there. Well, yeah, I stopped before I said that. You see, because I knew, and I'm not getting into that on a Friday night. Kath says, get well soon, Susan. Doug says, what you think about Gary Neville not understanding what all the fuss is about Lingard? Does he not realise all the disrespect Man U showed to player and Toon throwing their rattle out of the pram?
I'll take this one.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I've said it once. I've said it a million times. The club is rotten. Right? There's no respect for anyone at their club. They're a team of individuals owned by people who are individuals who all want to cream off the top of the club like they do every single year. So I say long may it continue, because I hope they're going to get worse and worse and worse, and they disrespect the players even more, and it all goes down the pan. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what more do we expect from Danielle on Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, it's just the way she is. She loves that football club with her. I think she loves Man United just as much as I love Everton. I think there's a mutual admiration. What are your thoughts on Maradona's Hand of God shirt going for over £7 million, Billy?
Ridiculous.
I mean, that's a lot of money to pay for a football shirt. I mean, I've known people to spend ridiculous amounts on football shirts, but £7 million.
If I was a billionaire, I'd have bought it and wiped my ass with it.
Fair enough. I understand that.
Cheating Argentinian bastard. Great player. Cheating Argentinian bastard.
Listen, I think we would have won the World Cup that year. I genuinely believe that had he not done that. So, you know, it still grates at me. But never mind. Carl says a West Brom fan has said Gale is on his way there and he's taking Darlow with him. Same person said Bruce is a good manager, make of it what you will. Listen, whoever goes to West Brom, good luck to them. 3 games to go, top 10 finish on the cards. Enjoy this moment. Sure, we can crack on to better things next season.
Amen.
ASM stats are surprisingly close to Hatem Ben Arfa's. Is that true, Mr. Stato?
It is. Hatem Ben Arfa, 4 fewer appearances, only two more goals in it between the both of them.
Wow.
I tweeted out today, somebody, I do apologise whoever it was, because it was a retweet. Somebody else did the hard work. I'll credit it in the comments later, but somebody fished out Ginola and Ben Arfa and a few of our other sort of inspirational dribblers and players and put all the stats of roughly sort of the appearances. And Max is doing fine. Absolutely fine. Not much different. He's got better. He looks better on paper than Ginola in terms of output for appearances. And I love Ginola and I love Ben Arfa. It's
and it proves the point of ASM. The players you've mentioned before had better players around them.
Well, I'm just scared with this situation that we're going to get rid of him, and he's going to go and peak somewhere else and have 3 good seasons.
I don't think we're going to get rid of him, Alex. I don't.
I think even if we do, but we'll never win, because even if we get rid of him and bring in another dribbler to replace him, that dribbler will have a reinforced team around him, and everybody will go, "Ha ha, told you so." Look, he's doing better than Maxi. Well, yeah, because he's got 4 or 5 or 6 superstars next to him now. So it doesn't matter which direction we take this. People, I'm kind of done because people don't listen to the stats around it and the context. So people have got their own opinions. Fair enough. I hope he stays. I would be very gutted because I feel like he's in a big transitional phase in his career and his game. It might fail 100%, but I think we'll get an interesting 3 years out of Maxi now. And I'm a bit concerned somebody else is going to get that, because our coaches have grinded to try and help and sort this out. We've taken the flack as fans. We've had the emotion. I don't want him to then go to another mid-table team and start absolutely and step up another level. I would be gutted if other fans get to enjoy him peaking when we've had to take all of this. It's going to suck. So I just hope the best thing happens. I don't know what that is, but
I think
it's a horrible situation.
I think you will.
All he needs is consistency, because that when he's on his game, there's no one better. And if he can get a consistency as age brings, usually we've got ourselves a hell of a player there. And I think he will achieve it with that better kind of player next to him, quality of player next to him. I think we'll see the best of ASM. And
I'm happy to judge him at Christmas.
Absolutely.
Have a pre-season, have the summer transfer window, and then give him a run of 3 or 4 months next season with the new build, with his game transitioned and a pre-season, hopefully no injuries. And then at Christmas, if we're saying that if we're having the same conversations, then okay, fine, yeah, fair enough. But I think he needs a chance.
Those kind of players always have flat spots in the career. People that play on the wing, Mavericks, they're going to have flat spots there because they can't do it every single week. But I like to see him do it 7 times out of 10, let's say.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back and look at Mane when he was 25, just before he moved to Liverpool, his output was a bit better than ASM's. Yeah, he was on 10, 11 goals. Similar kind of player. Mane had better statistics to a degree. Who's to say he can't step up? Nobody knows that.
This is picking traction up and all this week about Pickford.
Oh, no. No.
And the fact that he's one of Trippier's best mates, it's picking speed up, Danielle. It's picking speed.
No, right. So as was said in the green room earlier, my boss is a Sunderland fan, and she was saying today, "Oh, did you see the saves that Jordan made on Sunday?" And I was like, "Listen, right, he's turned up one game all season, and for me, I think he's playing for a move. He will not come to this club. End of conversation. Like, there is literally no chance that he will be playing for Newcastle United. Literally, can you imagine? We'd all have little T-Rexes and stuff in the crowd all the time, and I can't get my head around it. I really can't. Like, no, thank you very much.
I mean, added to this is Pickford is a class keeper. Quality matters.
Yeah, so does where you're from. So
thing is, he has no class.
He doesn't.
Correct,
I mean, he showed how classless he was when he was doing that all. Listen, he's a big head. I think he's a big head, and he's too big for his
tiny arms.
I don't like him either. The social media team jumped on the bandwagon of the dinosaur thing. Like the official were tweeting out the things to do with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, but the way he was making a fool of himself against Liverpool and stuff like that. We don't want players like that.
No, I don't want Jordan.
Honestly,
Pickford.
no way. Matthew says Pickford and class keeper should never be in the same sentence.
Correct, indeed. Matthew.
We need to be kind to our players. Leave it to Eddie to sort any problems. Well said, Kath. Well said. Joshua says the media and journalists also love stoking controversies around our club.
Love the drama.
Do they? I've never noticed that before.
Sells papers, isn't it?
Well,
of course it does.
The journalists not like our football club? I don't know what you mean.
I think it's got something to do with £320 billion. Something around there. That's why they hate it so much. Like that, something around that.
Yeah. Sean says ASM has said nothing wrong. We had nothing up front for the last 5 months. MSM means mainstream media, not ASM. There you go. George, I'm not down with the kids like you are. We're a little short and I mean, I know you're a groovy kind of guy, but yeah, okay. Hey, every player who pulls on the black and white shirt gets our support. The wife says Alex looks fed up. She's sending hugs.
It's just the ASM nonsense, isn't it, Alex?
I do agree with you guys. He just shouldn't have done the interview. I do agree that he just shouldn't have done it. Just wait till the season's
Maybe that's the conversation that he's had. Maybe that's the conversation.
It's just a shame because it's just the interview that he just shouldn't have done the interview, and then none of this would have happened.
It'll all blow over.
Yeah, but like we said, all these players have they're learning how to go and do more in the media because now they're being allowed to, unlike Ashley. So it's different.
Well, Hassan makes a good point there. He needs to put the comments behind him and provide us with a match-winning performance on Sunday. Julie says, is Danielle's self-appointed lawyer? Go on, hun.
Thanks, Jules.
Talking about Manchester United
Send us your invite.
Up the A1, thank you for your £5 super chat. Keep up the good work, guys. We'd love it if you did. Sorry, quoting War Kev. Hey, quote War Kev all you want, my man. All I want from ASM is him to concentrate on his football, work hard and show everyone what he's capable of, because at the moment he's out of form. Lascelles is fine as a backup central defender. Kamal says, hey, Paul and guys, nice to see you unloaded. I'm glad we agreed on Tarkovsky. Indeed.
I really enjoyed that show. I really enjoyed it. I thought
Yeah.
what a great mix it was with you and the loaded guys, and it was really, really funny for the whole time. I really enjoyed it, loved it.
Martin was on fire, wasn't he?
Oh, well, yeah, yes, as usual. But obviously they will be coming on here as well with us guys, so that should be a good laugh as well. So we're going to sort of interact on a weekly basis, hopefully. So more to come. It says, Alex, is there what of top strikers?
Dearth.
Dearth.
What the hell is dearth?
And available.
That's how Geordie says someone passed away.
Lack of. You could have said lack.
Able to get the transfer. Obviously, Haaland and Mbappe, Kane aren't gettable.
There's loads. This is why I'm not that bothered. Like Osimhen, Nunez, and Kunku, they can't all go to Man United and Arsenal. Like, few of them are going to be left over, and they're all incredible. So we'll be fine. There's tons of talent around. We'll get some decent players. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal in Kunku scored last night. What a cracking goal it was.
Yeah. Jim says, Alex, stop defending ASM every time. Maradona's shirt fit for the bin.
Here we go. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it turning. It's all right, Alex. You allowed your opinion, mate.
Troll alert! Troll alert!
Ooh.
Do I put it up on the screen? What do you reckon?
Yeah, go for it.
Go on.
Yeah? It's having a dig at me, like. But here you go.
He was the one that asked about the.
Firstly, can you learn how to spell properly? His name's Paul, not Paolo, right?
Yeah. And there's no Ian Sponging.
Come on, man! If you're gonna abuse someone, at least be articulate.
Yeah. And ask
for money for your job. Is that not what everybody in the entire world does?
For money.
Yeah.
He made a similar comment the other night, so yeah, definite troll.
Mods, get rid, please.
Yeah. Asshole. You I think I do it once or twice every show, so don't worry about it.
It's your channel; you can do what you want.
Of course,
You're not begging anyone for money.
Paul, it's all free content. You can pay to support the channel. You know, it's that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you earn money. You know,
Correct.
And if people can't afford to give you anything, they won't. You dillhole. And Paul, or should I say Paolo, take your face for a shite, son. See you later. Mm-hmm. And just as that comes in, Terry Gorman comes in with a lovely £30 super chat. Thank you very much, Terry. Very much appreciated.
Great time, Terry.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah. I know that sometimes we don't put troll stuff on here, but sometimes we can laugh at them, laugh right back at them. Yeah, indeed. Matthew says we need 2 centre backs in the summer for me. Lascelles isn't good enough to be our backup. Dave says go Danielle. Steve Hodge played a blinder when he swapped that shirt. Yeah. PDK says Billy Ladd applause. Obviously talking about Maradona's shirt. Everyone make sure to vote for Bruno for EA Player of the Month. Yeah, he has to get that. He has to get it. But there you go. Another post says, looking good, everyone. Here's to a great weekend, no matter what the result. Indeed. Matthew says, Ben Arthur's goals and assists were of a different level, though. Spider says, hi, Paul and team. It's very simple. Give SM one more season. Let him show us what he is capable of. If he can't, then it's time to move on. We have a deadline to hit the top. Very simple. Paul, ASM statistics are better than Ginola. Facts. He is made a scapegoat. My opinion, but I disagree with what he said recently in the interview.
I mean, it's not your opinion. It is facts. You're right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But people don't like that.
Phil says, don't believe everything that's printed in the papers. It will give ASM another chance. Listen, it wasn't in the papers. It was in a French magazine. And, there can't be any misquotes because it's French. But, I'm giving Maxi the benefit of the doubt. We all are. We all want to see him do well and rip Manchester City and Newcastle on Sunday. That would be very nice. Yeah. Turning to the game, Danielle, obviously, Man City disastrously went out on Wednesday night. I mean, they were literally minutes away from the Champions League final. A lot of people saying they bottled it. For me, you go into that game on Sunday now, Pep will demand that they bounce back.
I'm not looking forward to it. I've got to be honest. Like, as soon as I saw them go out, I thought, it would have been bad enough anyway, because they're still in competition with Liverpool for the title. But it's going to be a really tough game, really tough game. But I'm not as optimistic, surprisingly enough, as I normally am every week this time around. However, what I'd like to see is just a really strong performance from our team. That's what I would like. I would like a battling performance so that if they score or whatever happens, we don't just lie down and let them come up with. I would really like, if I see a strong performance from the team and everyone playing together, and we can't ask for anything more. All we can do is try our best. So as long as they do that, I'll be happy.
Yep. Alex, I mean, I was shocked Man City went out, to be honest. I thought that they played quite well on Wednesday night, from what I saw when I was on the show with the loaded lads, but I had it on the TV, and it was they looked like they were controlling the game and should have actually won it in the last 10 minutes of the game. They had 2 really good chances from Grealish. But listen, I mean, what side are you expecting them to put out on Sunday?
A rotated
because it was a tough game,
a
wasn't it?
They're a bit short on players, to be fair. They ain't got a lot of options.
Sunderland have just scored, by the way, guys.
It's all right. This is the plan. They're going to get to the final and then they're going to go out on penalties and they're all going to cry and we're all going to laugh. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Absolutely terrible defending, it has to be said. I mean, garbage defending, but never mind. Go on, Alex.
Yeah, they've got a few injuries in Stones and Walker, so that's, they've got Ake, who wasn't used, who could come in, but he's not in the predicted lineup for several websites. So, they're expected to start. Laporte, Diaz, Cancelo are all expected to start, even though all 3 of them played 120 minutes. So I'm cool with that. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Start all 3 of them. Not a problem.
Yeah.
I think De Bruyne played 72 minutes and then came off. Rodri played 99. Jesus played 78. Mahrez 85. Mahrez is in the predicted lineup to start. It looks like Grealish will possibly play. And I agree with you as well. Everybody's slagging off Grealish. Same as everybody slags off Maxi. Everybody's slagging off Grealish. Yeah, he could have had 2 goals in the space of like 20 seconds. Courtois pulled off the most ridiculous save I've ever seen with somebody's foot that wasn't from De Gea.
But I think taking Mahrez off was a bad decision, to be honest. I do not get that substitution.
In the first 2 months of the season, I thought he was like golden Ballon d'Or level. It was ridiculous. And then he just dropped off a cliff for some reason. But when he's on his day, he's ridiculous. He's incredible. Mm-hmm. But Grealish was unlucky not to get 2 goals. Goal line clearance and a ridiculous save, but obviously he's being criticised. Like, that's very unfair.
Yeah.
They're going to be knackered.
Yep. George, thank you for your £5 super chat, mate. He says, Paul, it's been a very long time since I've been called a groovy kind of guy. Thanks. And you are not a sponger. Thank you, George. Much appreciated. Billy, I mean, what are you expecting on Sunday? Because whichever team Man City put out, it is going to be a tough game, isn't it?
It is, but we've got to defend properly. And we've got to stop them from creating chances, and at the same time give them some trouble as well, attacking wise. What Man City do lack is fullbacks. I mean, with Kyle Walker injured, Cancelo will probably go over to the right. That'll bring Zinchenko onto the left. They don't actually have a left back if Cancelo's playing on the right. Zinchenko's been playing there. He's been getting away with it, to be honest. So I'll be tempted to kind of go at him on our right hand side, and that could mean a move on to that side for ASM for me.
Yeah. He didn't look great, Zinchenko, I have to say.
He's not a fullback, is he? He's a midfield player. Just auxiliary in there.
He looked all over the place, to be honest. But I don't think Kyle Walker will play either. I mean, he came back on Wednesday night, but he was he looked absolutely dead and buried.
He did.
When he came
He's
off.
He's down as injured in all the predictions. So.
All right, okay. Lewis Dixon, thank you for your £4.49 super chat, mate. He says, I don't really have any friends, so when I come on and watch the show, it feels like I do. Hopefully I'll be able to meet you at St. James's one day. Thanks very much, Lewis.
Anytime.
Indeed. And it's nice to know we do that for you, mate. So thank you. We are a big family here, as we keep saying millions of times. Michael says Pickford is not going to come here. He said he would never play for us when he left Sunderland. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm expecting a serious backlash on Sunday. I'm expecting Man City to come out at 100 mile an hour. And I think Eddie Howe will probably be expecting that as well, because what he will probably be telling the players is, let's really, really stick together for the first 10, 15 minutes, because they're going to come at us, weather the storm. Because Danielle, there is going to be a storm, isn't there, as soon as it kicks off? I would expect from a side of Man City's class.
Of course, they're going to come out. They're going to come out and just want to make a statement immediately, straight away. And I'm sure Eddie knows that, and I'm sure he's preparing the team as well as he possibly can for that. But I think, we're not naive. We know what they're about, Man City. We know how, what a great squad they've got, what great depth they've got, and how talented they are. So, I don't underestimate them. Normally, I do a stupid prediction, and do something daft, against everybody else. But, I just think, you cannot really, you've got to hold your hands up and say, they're a really, really strong team, obviously. So, like I say, I just want to put up a bit of a fight. And if we get something out of it, I'll be absolutely over the moon. But as long as we play well, that's all I want, really. That's all that makes us happy.
Yep. Paul Pop, 1973. Thank you for your €5, mate. He says, sorry, it's only a £5. Your channel is one of the best out there. Definitely not a sponger. Keep up the great work and ignore the haters. Yeah, there's a lot of haters out there now. There's thousands, but it's just how it is.
There's also thousands of people who really like the channel and like what we do. So
there's also a super chat above that one. You seen it?
No. It hasn't come through on mine. Hang on. I'll see if I can scroll down to it.
Super sticker. I think it's a super sticker.
Oh, super sticker. Right. It doesn't see the Toon Man. Yeah, £5 super sticker. Yeah.
There's also another one.
Toon Man.
There's also another one from the chap that accused you of sponging. Paul Hills, £2.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was trying to be sarcastic and it didn't come across well in the comments. I mean, that can happen. I don't know. Weird.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Thanks, Paolo.
Thank you.
Indeed, thank you. Don't take your face for shit anymore. Let's reverse that decision. VAR says reverse decision. I'm not sure what's going on. Hey, it's the Toon Review live show. Anything can happen on
Anything can happen.
Indeed. Nathan says, was looking at some of Wilson's goals this season. He makes runs that Chris Wood doesn't, so glad he's back. Yeah, I mean, Alex, were you surprised? I mean, Eddie Howe in his press conference said today that Trippier is now behind Wilson when it comes to fitness. Now, all the way through these last few days or weeks and months, Trippier has always been first to return ahead of Wilson. It's bizarre. Before you answer that, we've had another $8.99 super chat come in from Dana Boy, who was a West Ham United fan. So thank you very much for that.
Very kind, thank you.
You were the Geordies, the Geordie Boot Boys, and I hope one day you win the Premier League. Hopefully for me granddad's sake, NUFC close to me heart because of me family. Cheers, Dana Boy. That's very, very kind of you, mate. Go on, Alex.
I mean, it's not a massive shock. Callum Wilson's a excellent athlete. I mean, we looked at the photos months ago, and when he was still injured, very injured, he was absolutely shredded. So he keeps up his fitness. He's an athlete. You can tell he's got good genetics anyway, and he's an incredibly hard worker, and he's talented. Whereas Trippier is a bit more of a, you could see him if he takes a year off football, he'll just look like a normal lad. Whereas Wilson still probably would look like an athlete. He's got that athletic physique anyway. And I think Wilson was doing running. It's different injuries, isn't it? So obviously they've just got to be careful with the metatarsal. And I'm not sure exactly when he says he's behind him. Does that mean fitness or does that mean training sessions? You don't know whether the injuries had any swelling or whether it's Trippier or Wilson. It's a funny one, but it's not surprised me. Wilson is an absolute beast. I have mentioned in previous shows months ago, in my opinion, I don't think Wilson's going to be injury prone for us going forward because I think he's going to be used correctly. And I think we're going to have rotation options. We're going to have more depth. And I think he'll be managed a lot better. I don't think he's going to be injured all the time. I could be wrong. So, feel free to say ha if I get that wrong. But I'm fairly confident he'll be a lot better going forward.
Yeah. Interesting. We've had a £5 super chat from Paul Hills. He says, Paul, channel is the best Newcastle one on YouTube. I never miss a show. Right, Paul. Well, thank you very much. I don't know why you sent that original one in. it must have been sarcastic, but it was taken the wrong way, and we all apologise for that because it seems you're a big fan of the channel. So VAR has reversed its decision. Dublin Magpie, thank you for becoming a member. I think that's a renewal again. Now he's back on the scene. Thank you very much, Dublin.
It's nice to have him back, isn't it?
It is, yes. Warren, good evening, mate. He says, keep up the good work on the channel. Love to you all. Appreciate Lee sending us a pic of me in the Chronicle. Danielle made my weekend.
Oh, he saved it. He said, if I see him at the game, I'll give it him.
Yeah, it was a good
and
photo,
happy
actually.
Birthday, Warren. Happy birthday.
Oh, is it his birthday today?
It is. He's 25, according to Instagram.
Oh, right. Happy birthday, Warren.
Was that sarcastic according to Instagram, or was he really 25?
No, really 25, I think.
Happy birthday, Warren.
Yeah.
25th.
Daniel.
Okay.
I have been supporting Newcastle. Oh, don't start again. I have been supporting Newcastle since 1947. How long have you been supporting them? 1982 for me. Look, we're all over.
As long as I can remember.
We're all over, well over 15 years of supporting Newcastle United.
Getting on to 50.
Yeah, Billy, you didn't have to show your age, mate. Don't worry. Simon Townley, thank you very much for your $8.99 super chat. There isn't any quote there or comment, but thank you very much for your kindness. Really appreciate that. Ab says, I was excited by ASM's interview. It showed him looking forward to better times. Jamie says, would you guys not go all out and get Henderson from United? Look, I think with transfers, I don't think they're particularly busy looking at that yet until we get the season out the way. I think Eddie Howe especially, we have such a massive game on Sunday. Now, Sunday for me, I mean, people have mentioned those words, free hit, and it shouldn't really affect us. But Billy, I want us to go out there and perform. I want us to give them a game like we did against Liverpool. Yeah. Man City to come off the pitch, no matter what the result is, knowing that they've been in a game.
Man United at Christmas as well. We'll give them a game as well.
Yeah. But we've got to go out and make sure that, because it would be disrespectful, I think, to Liverpool as well if we just rolled over. They are involved in the title race. Look, we did our best against Liverpool. Although Eddie Howe said today that we should have done better. He was actually disappointed. For me, that's a good sign when you can say that he's disappointed after a 1-0 loss to Liverpool.
Yeah, we've got to find the right balance between being compact and being offensively dangerous, and it's the balance you've got to achieve at the Etihad because they're such a great side. But I equate it more to the Chelsea game away. I think if we kind of set up in that kind of manner and are compact, but are really dangerous from the break. Yeah, I think we can cause some problems, and I think we owe it to the rest of the league, not just to Liverpool, but professionally. You've got to go out there and do your damnedest, and I think we will. I don't think Eddie Howe will allow any kind of slack in or rolling over. I don't think it's in his makeup at all. So yeah, I'm expecting a competitive performance. Absolutely.
And the thing is, though, you've got two managers on Sunday who expect the very best from the teams. I mean, obviously, Pep Danielle has a lot more quality at his disposal. Obviously. They could play a second 11 and still be, a team of 11 internationals. But we've got to go into this and think, right, we've come a long way. We might not beat them on the day, but we can give them a game.
Absolutely, and I think that's what we'll do. Whether that, ends up being in our favour and we'll get something, then that would be absolutely amazing. But I think we'll have to, make a good show of ourselves and really set up a stall and say when Newcastle United, we're not what happened before Christmas, and that was a terrible game at St James's Park. I didn't like that at all. I know you were there, Paul. It was miserable on a Sunday afternoon, I believe. And we had nothing. But I think we've come on leaps and bounds since then, and I think I think the lads will give it the best. I really do. I've got every faith in them that they will.
Yeah, it's a different Newcastle United that Man City will be facing, and I think it's for us. It was probably a good thing that the match went to extra time because I mean they took De Bruyne off as well. I mean, I don't understand that substitution unless he was carrying a knock or he was just absolutely shattered. But those two substitutions of Mahrez and De Bruyne were strange ones. And Pep will be wanting to put a stamp down, Alex, on Sunday, won't he? Just to say, right, it was a freak result.
Yeah. I mean, I called as soon as Real Madrid put that first one in, I was like, that's it. Real Madrid are going to win this. They looked so up for it. You just see it. It keeps every year in the Champions League. There's always something like that happens. But in terms of how he's going to approach this game, he's going to have to be careful because until that first goal went in against Liverpool, we looked fine. We were pressing. We were up for it. We didn't let Liverpool play. We were well up for it, and I was very impressed with what we put up. They were fortunate with the goal. They only scored because we had a player down, injured, out of positions. The only reason they even got a goal in the first place. So I fully expect us to go out there. We've potentially got Wilson, possibly not Trippier. I expect them to go out there and do what we did to Liverpool, match them for pressing, just try as hard as we can. And see what we can do. We're not going to go out there and roll over at all. It's going to be a progression. We've not done bad against some of the better sides recently. The 1-0 loss against Chelsea was hard to take because it was should we have lost that? Probably not. Liverpool again was close. We're doing fine. We're in a good trajectory at the moment. The only thing that we've not mentioned that concerns me is Shah not playing, worries me slightly. Because obviously,
I was going to come onto that.
Yeah,
I think it creates a worry. Now, I did say in my press conference video today that what'll he do? Will he go to a 3 and stick Emil Kraft there on the right hand side?
All the websites are predicting a back 5.
Oh God,
I'm not. I don't want that.
A back 5.
They're all thinking that Lascelles is going to play and Kraft is going to be a right-sided centre back. That's the general consensus, but I don't know about
that. Well, it leads us nicely on, Alex. Do you have your graphics there?
I do indeed.
Lovely.
This needs a signature tune, Paul.
You what?
I know the graphics.
Yeah, I know. Who's got some commentary on in the background?
It's not me.
Hang on.
Oh, Billy's just it's like John Sinclair shouted at his mum, isn't it? Turn that bloody thing down.
Does it come up?
There you go.
Yes.
There we go. Right. So, yeah. This is our typical lineup, obviously with Lascelles coming in at right centre back, and Wilson presumably. I agree with what you said in your video, Paul. If you haven't watched Paul's video, you can go and watch it later. That Wilson, it's a good idea to give Wilson minutes early on in the game, not coming on as a substitute. For injury reasons, it's probably better to give him a run out earlier on. I do agree with that. If he's ready, play him for an hour, see what happens. So it's lovely to write the number 9 down again on this board. It's wonderful. 4-3-3, this is what I expect. I am very, very concerned that these two players can't pass or pass under pressure, but it'd have been nice to have given Lascelles a try in a back 4 again against a slightly easier team than Man City, but it is what it is. He's going to have to step up if he's played there. So I'm going to be frustrated if Willock plays, because my assessment at the moment of Willock is he cannot play big games. He loses. He won't even challenge for the ball in the air. He just goes missing in big games at the moment, and it is a big shame. He's still young though. He's 22. I'd be surprised if he started when we've got these 3 in the middle. I do think Joe Linton will go back into midfield. Again, Miggy wasn't particularly good, so you could argue that he might give Murphy another go on the wing, because Miggy was poor against Liverpool. Despite the offside goal, he was still very offside for it. As for Man City, this is the predicted lineup on a couple of websites as a 4-3-3. People who played 120 minutes are Laporte, Cancelo, Diaz, all played 120.
Yeah.
So the rest are slightly fresher. They were all substitutes in the Champions League. So we can, in theory, attack this side slightly more. So fingers crossed these two come up clutch, because you would imagine there's going to be a bit more tiredness around this side later on in the game, and they don't have much in terms of depth to cover that. Their depth is all further up the pitch in Jesus coming on. So it'll be an interesting one. Rodri played 99 minutes. Nobody seems to think he's going to start. Maybe Rodri comes in. maybe not. But and so our predicted lineup from the websites is Almiron drops out.
Mm-hmm.
The website seems to think we're going to do something. What was it? I think they predicted Wood, didn't they? They think Wood's going to start. Was it Wood? It was something a bit more like this. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they want probably not that. But they want a back five consisting of Murphy coming in at right wing back and Kraft as the right-sided centre back. So that's what a lot of websites are predicting. I don't want to see this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested in wing backs. We've played a 4-3-3 against all the big teams. Why would we change it against Man City? It just doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
anything you want me to swap about and have a look?
No, I don't think it matters, to be honest. Whether we go 5 or 4, I really think it's going to be one hell of a tough game anyway. It doesn't really matter. I think Wilson is going to start. I think it's a risk bringing him on as a substitute because if he starts from the off, fully warmed up, he's ready to go. Subs warm up, but they're never really at the peak until they've done a few, 5-10 minutes on the pitch. Really, I wouldn't risk it. I'd play him for an hour. And then if he's tired, bring him off. But I think we have to have some pace up front tomorrow in the striker position because Chris Wood hasn't got it. I mean, Diaz and Laporte will just eat Chris Wood up for supper. They really will.
I mean, there's not a lot of height up here, so Wilson, Wood, or Joe Linton, if they can provide the right support up here, we can win balls in the right areas. So, and these three are going to be knackered. They really are. In my opinion, I agree with what some of the comments have said. We're either going to get absolutely battered because they're just so angry and frustrated, or I feel like we'll win. And I'm looking forward to the second one. We've taken 1 point from Big Six teams this season. We're due something. We've been playing well. We've been putting in the performances against Liverpool and Chelsea. I think just go for the throat.
Alex is changing my mind, I blame you for my optimism. I do, because I come on and I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get anything.
I mean, Liverpool required an injured Shah, right? Liverpool needed a circumstantial hole in the defence to get the goal. We were fine. We did all right. I don't know. I think we're due some points off a top team. So
I'd be bringing Murphy in on the right-hand side, and whichever side was the most attacking, I'd swap in with ASM, depending on which side was causing us more grief. And fall into a 4-5-1 when we haven't got the ball. That's what I'd do, and go forward with it when we have got it.
Yeah, if Murphy's on, he can drop back and we can shift the shape. That does make sense.
Indeed. Coach Austin, thank you very much for becoming a new member of the channel. Welcome to the Toon Review. Malcolm says, good morning, lads and lasses. Just woke up to listen to your show. Celebrated my 61st birthday yesterday. I hope we can get a result against City. They will be hurting after the Champions League game. Well, first of all, happy birthday, Malcolm. I hope you had a great day. And I hope you're right. I hope they are ruining it. And I hope that the heads are well and truly still in the sand. Ronald says, who is doing the scream along on Sunday? That would be me, Ronald. So tune in for that, starting at 4 p.m. Steve says, be interesting to see the effect on the team if Wilson and Trippier start. Foxy says, Pep cost Man City Wednesday night. Awful substitutions. Listen, something it was on the TV. I can't remember who said it, but it was something along the lines of maybe Pep should decide to go to a lesser well-off team, shall we say, where he has to build and see if he can actually do it at a level where everything isn't just laid out on a golden plate. Because Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City, it's all been there. Can he do it at a team that doesn't have the funds that the three teams that he's managed to have?
I think it's a fair accusation, the complacency setting on with his substitutions on Wednesday night. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he thought the game was done, in my opinion. I think he took De Bruyne off before they scored, which says to me that
after 72 minutes.
Yeah. So I think De Bruyne, he must have been carrying a knock. I can't understand any other decision to take him off. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously Mahrez scores and then he yanks him off. Just crazy decisions. Julie says to Ronald, the legend of wet jellyfish, Paul is doing the commentary. Thank you very much.
Correct.
Up the one says, do the simple things, stick your position and track your man. All pretty basic, but that's the fundamentals. All the rest is a bonus. Yeah. Troll says, I think we will spend big on a goal scorer and Paqueta. Foxy says, Grealish could have had 2, but didn't. He also didn't do enough to stop the cross for the Real Madrid second goal. Then 30 minutes of extra time and look nowhere near a £100 million player. Not good enough, really. Listen, I don't think anybody can say that Jack Grealish is a £100 million player. I think it's outrageous, the money that was spent on him. Yeah, decent player, but 100 million quid, absolutely not, to be honest. But that's my opinion. AJ says, I'd love to get a result at City playing their strongest team. Anything less than a top team, the media will tear into us.
Not sure about that.
I can see where he's coming from, though, Billy, because if we do get something out of the game, then it's going to be, Man City weren't at the races because of what happened in Europe. They were tired or they weren't at the best. Nobody will turn around and say, Newcastle were fantastic on the day. It'll all be about Man City.
Don't forget how much was spent in January. Get that in as well.
Oh, well.
But their second strength side is kind of championship. Could win a championship, couldn't it? So I'm not so sure. The quality they've got in depth, although they haven't got much at the moment because of injuries, still pretty hot, to be honest.
Yeah, Nathan Ake's not in any of these predictions, and he's fit, and he's a left-sided centre back. I don't know why he's not nailed on to start, because Diaz and Laporte. Yeah, I know. Diaz and Laporte have played 2 hours of football, so I don't get it.
He's been filling a left back the past few times I've seen him, and he's done really well.
I mean, none of the predictions are for Ake to play, but I think he might play. Wouldn't surprise me.
Kath says, I'll always remember Grealish for scoring that goal against Brighton Hove Albion that sent us into the Premier League as champions.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
you have to remember
absolutely
that.
Right.
Renier says, we are one big family here, guys, so we all have friends, presenters, mods, viewers. Exactly, 100%. 5 months back, Man City first goal was offside. Listen, they didn't even get out of first gear when they came to St James's Park, and still, what was it, 4-0? Destroyed us. So, we've come a long way since then.
Wow.
A long way.
Kieran Clark was playing. That Kieran Clark.
Yes, he was indeed. Who? Oh, yes. I seem to remember somebody called Kieran Clark. Luke says, that's right, Daniel, 1 or 10,000%.
You just call me Daniel again, Paul.
No, I said Danielle. I just said it in a quick way. They don't call me Sinclair. It's the only trophy they have left to get. Imagine no trophies for Man City. Yeah, I mean, people have been saying that is he going to be managing next season?
Manchester would be a very sad place. Very sad.
Such a shame.
Such a shame.
London would be quite happy, though.
Well, yeah, there would be. Jason says, bring the old intro music back. Sorry, Jason. It's sometimes YouTube do very strange things and copyright my music when I've got that off the YouTube website, which is bizarre. So unfortunately, I can't. Michael says, I'm expecting to get our asses kicked, but I really don't care. That's the beauty about how well we've done since Eddie. Just put up a fight. Silver lining is losing is it hurts Liverpool. I'd rather Liverpool won the title than Manchester, to be honest. Any Manchester. Maxi will be benched on Sunday, not because of his comments, but because we'll need all hands to the pump while defending. And Maxi doesn't defend, not with purpose anyway. Yes, but we need an outlet. And I think, to be fair, if Wilson starts, then we have a very, very quick counter-attack. And I think that's what Eddie will be looking for. Is breaking out very quickly and getting at Manchester City, because like Alex has said, they're going to be tired, and some of them players who played the full 120 minutes will have to play again on Sunday because of injuries, so they will be tired, and it's our opportunity to go at them. We need to spend at least 200 million in the summer to give the league a shock next year, getting some commotion for ASM2. Anything could happen, like Paul's camera turning round to reveal the king of Morocco's throne. Does that look like a throne? Really? It's a streaming chair, a game, whatever they call it. Ronnie says, keep up the good work, one big family. Yeah, Alex, he does look more naturally athletic. We're talking about, obviously, Wilson. Yeah, and not
Coventry genes.
Not just some random guy. Be wrong. Is the SM the GOAT? Great. Sorry?
Sorry, Billy's mentioned Coventry genes. I was like, yeah, he's got the Leon Best genes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Nottingham, he was from.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you, guys. Your chats have saved my life and kept my mind occupied. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Apparently, Paul's put a comment in, which I'm not putting on the screen, but let's just say he's in a happy place. And that's why he's putting silly comments.
That's nice.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus.
Save it for afterwards.
Jenny says it's the best coverage on match day by miles. Really funny. Where would you get? How could you miss that? You bell end. Not on Sky. Funny, man. Yeah, good point. Coach Austin, thank you for a £4 super sticker as well. That's very kind of you, my man. Danny Boys, best thing I ever seen was Newcastle fans singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at St James's Park about 7 or 8 years ago for the Hillsborough tribute. My dad, Liverpool, and my granddad, Newcastle, meant so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I was at the game. It was brilliant.
It was really it nipped at the heartstrings, didn't it?
Just a bit, yeah. Ron says, hi, guys. Let's all be thankful. I was 4 years old on my dad's shoulders when we won the Fairs Cup. Eddie Howe gives us real hope with the new owners. Keep up the great work.
Correct.
Thomas says, personally, I wouldn't mind sending the title to the Red Scousers rather than City. We've got the chance tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think there's many people will actually want Man City to win the league. Certainly from Newcastle, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, what do you guys think?
I do.
I mean, I don't like Liverpool. I really don't. I don't want either of them to win it. I don't know why. Everybody seems to be quite neutral on Liverpool. I really dislike Liverpool as well. Not a big fan of them at all. Especially
why?
Well, I was younger when we had Andy Carroll and the Jose Enrique thing. I think that their fans were awful during the time when they were sort of languoring in 6th and 7th with Aquilani in their midfield and Dirk Kuyt up front. And I remember all of that. And, you know, I'm not a massive fan of them. I don't think... well, there's not that much of a difference. They've got American owners who have pumped a lot of money in. The difference was they got fortunate with the Coutinho sale, and they got very fortunate with Salah. All of Liverpool have said they weren't expecting him to be like that. They were expecting him to be a good winger, not an absolute like world beater like he has become. So, I don't want either of them to win it. But I'm not as neutral about Liverpool as other people. I don't like any of the teams. You got to remember everything that's happened this season. Man City, the only club that abstained when we've had all these funny talks about club ownership. Everybody else has whinged and tried to block us through sponsorships, transfers, messing us around.
Rotten little snakes.
So Man City, the only people that didn't vote on any of those.
And there's my reason right there.
So I'm not happy with Liverpool either. They're trying to do everything they possibly can. They were still part of the Super League discussions, the same as Man City were.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like either of them. I don't know where all this neutrality's come from. I'm not keen on either of them. Sorry.
And I don't care, because I think whoever wins it's just keeping it warm for us in a few seasons' time anyway, so crack on.
That's a good point, yeah. That is a good point. Dominic says, just to let you know, Paul, I did an $8.99 super chat earlier when I watched the video earlier today. Yes, I know, Dominic, and I did put a comment underneath thanking you for that. So yeah, he did use the new thanks button, which by the way is available now. If you aren't watching this live or you're watching videos, you can still super chat now on this channel. If you want to donate, you just hit the thanks button underneath the video with a little $ next to it, and you can do a super chat that way. Even if we're not live, if you're watching a recorded show or you're watching just a rerun of one of the lives. He's trying to become a member. Don't think it's gone through. Just keep checking, Dominic. It will eventually. Carl says, I think we'll make it a game. I hope the players are aiming for a top half finish. Liverpool, amazing team, but worried they are going to do the quadruple and the fans gloat about it forever.
Yeah, good point. I think Alex, you made that point, didn't you, a few weeks ago?
In the 80s, they were unbearable. They were unbearable in the 80s.
Yeah, they were.
I don't see anything different coming this time if it happens again. They were as unbearable as the Red Manchester lot have been unbearable for the past 30 years.
Yeah. If we win the title in 5 years' time, all they're going to talk about is this quadruple. They can't win it.
That's fair enough. Adam Pick, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Toon Review family. Michael Palmer, Alex said up to the goal. The goal was on 19 minutes. Chris says he misses playing Sabutio. Well, that's a very random comment on a Friday night, Chris. But get yourself out there and buy some. There's still. Foxy, I'll only gloat for a bit if we do. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Bruno number 39. What a player, indeed. Really? Mohammed's in the house. Andy says it's Manchester United. We are United. Magpie says I wouldn't start Maxi for 2 reasons. 1, defensive liability. 2, silly comments in the week. Bring him on for a redeemer's 30 minutes in the second half.
I think that's silly.
Well, there's quite a few people say he could make an impact off the bench.
Do you know what? I just want him to do well. I just want him to come on and really put in a performance and in a shift, and I really hope that he does. I really do. And I know I've changed 100% to where I was, but I seen something a few weeks ago on him. And I know sometimes he does silly things like interviews and whatever and all the rest of it, but don't we all do silly things?
It sends out a ridiculous message to Man City if we drop our most dangerous player. Really
does. Dan comes up with an interesting point, saying, why not try Richie instead of Miggy? Seemed decent up there, and we know he can cross the ball.
Not sure he's got the legs.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he had the legs against Liverpool, to be fair. He did fine, but he had to run back a couple of times. And I mean, you could try him again. If we had the opportunity, if this run-in was against easier teams, then I would say yes. But against Liverpool and City back-to-back, that's not Richie's fault. It's just,
True. Kamal says, do you guys think Diaz is slightly overrated? I don't know. I think he's a very good player, me.
Yeah, I do.
I really do. I think he's a very, very good player. Ab says, I suspect we'll be crucified, but we could put out a pretty decent team, so not a lost cause. Foxy says, if Joe Linton doesn't play in the midfield, don't play him. Offers absolutely nothing on that left side, never threatens the fullback. Miggy, the only player that tried to stretch Liverpool's defence.
Joe Linton's got 2
the eyebrows
goals from the left wing against Norwich.
He did. I think he's talking about the Liverpool game, in fairness, though.
Oh, fair enough. I think it's a bit unfair to talk about his wing play from 6 months ago compared to who Joe Linton is now, who is a completely different player.
Indeed.
I mean, I could be wrong, but, the last time he played on the left wing against a team that wasn't a Champions League contender, he scored 2 goals against Norwich. So, I don't know, you've got to give him... Yeah, that's unfair, really.
Yeah. Matthew says, really enjoyed last week's video with Henry Winter. He's a very interesting guy. Do you have plans to get other guests on the show? And if so, who? Keith Downey would be a great shout. We are all... Listen, we're sending emails off like fireworks. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes back. And then once we get people on the shows, we will advertise it as normal and say, hey, yay or nay. But yeah, Keith Downey would be a good one for me as well. I have spoke to Keith Downey a couple of times, so I'll try and get back in touch with him and see if he would be willing to come on. That would be good. I Like Coffee says, can we bring Benzema masks to strike fear in the Man City players? Coach Justin says, my pleasure. Like I said, you guys do a great job and have helped me through tough times with your channel.
But I think also following on from that comment, I think the people that watch these shows help us. Because we go through tough times personally and whatever's going on in our lives, and you guys as viewers and subscribers and members really help us through. Just the banter and the fact we can lose ourselves in a show for a few hours a day. It's great. Exactly.
Well said, Danielle. Spider says, if Chelsea go bankrupt, who would you take? And if they did go bankrupt, would it count as one of the teams to go down, or would it be 4 teams? Opinions.
I think the Premier League have been trying to reduce the numbers of the clubs in the league anyway. I just think they're just going to non-existence, and that'll be it. No one will replace them.
Yeah.
Well, Chelsea is a very interesting one because they are really in trouble now.
Yeah,
and I think they've got till the 4th of June to get this all through. And if it's not done by then, we may say goodbye to Chelsea as a football club. It's bizarre even thinking that, isn't it? But
I feel for the fan base.
Oh, course. Well, you have to feel for the fans.
I feel like this situation, which we obviously don't talk about on this channel, is out of their control, and I feel for them because if it was Newcastle United, my heart would be broken into a million pieces. So I
Yeah.
get that. However, on the reverse side of that, they're a cartel. They're like part of the cartel, so karma gets you, unfortunately. So I don't feel sorry for everyone else. And you know what? And I'd swarm in, right, like a locust, and I'd take all the players.
My next door neighbour's a
Like a
Chelsea
grabbing
supporter.
machine. I'd be like that.
My next door neighbour's a Chelsea supporter, and when Abramovich, he was a season ticket holder until Abramovich took over, and he said, "That's not my Chelsea. Stop buying season tickets." But over the years, he started going a bit more and a bit more. And I've seen him dancing in the street a few times, but I haven't seen him dancing much lately.
No.
Yeah, I haven't heard your comments before about the league restructuring or having fewer teams. It's interesting though, because France are going to drop their league size down to 18 teams soon, aren't they? So the Bundesliga is already
Bundesliga's 18, isn't it?
fewer. So
yeah.
Interesting idea.
I don't want it to drop anymore. I really don't.
I agree. I like the current format, but it's an interesting theory.
Alan, thanks for your £10 super chat. Very kind. He says, great show as always. Same as usual, Paul. 10-hour Toon goal for the Toon review. He is hoping I have to hand over a few quid. I think your wallet will be quite shut this weekend, to be honest, Alan. I'm not very confident. Barney Mins, thank you for your £10 super sticker as well, my friend. Very kind. Thank you so much. Right. It is time for predictions now. And obviously we have to go with our team lineups. Billy, we'll start with yourself, your team lineup and the score.
Okay, Dubravka in goal, right back Kraft, centre halves Lascelles and Dan Burn. Target on the left.
So you're going with a 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In front, I'm going to say Bruno, Shelby, Joe Linton, Maxi on the right, Murphy on the left, and swap them around depending on where the danger's coming from.
Yeah.
And Callum Wilson up front. I think we'll give him a great game, but I think we'll get beat 3-1.
Who's going to score for us?
Callum Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if he's in the team, I think a lot of people are going to go with Callum. It's a fact. Alex, obviously, we've seen your teams there on the graphics earlier on. You're going for the 4 at the back one, yeah?
Yeah, Dubravka with Target, Burn, Lascelles, and Kraft. Same midfield, Shelby in front with Bruno right, Joe Linton left. I think it'll be the same, but Wood will drop out for Wilson. So ASM left, Wilson number 9 where he should be.
Yeah,
and then I think Miggy will. I think I'm conflicted with this one. I'm not sure. I have a feeling he might swap it because Miggy was poor against Liverpool. He was full of energy in doing those runs, but yeah, he's offside. He was born offside, so I just Murphy just can't.
It's a debate, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Murphy either hits the crossbar, the post, or anything that's in front of the goal, and Miggy's always offside. If we could just push them together and make one little super player, like there's so much quality in both. They're just not quite there. It's similar to what Gale was as well. We've got so many people who are not quite there.
Yeah. Up the Here One says, hi guys, after meeting you after the ladies game last weekend, we feel even more part of the Toon Review family. Thank you very much. And Aditya says, guys, question for you all. Would you guys sack Howe or get Pepner for next season if he gets sacked by Man City? No way.
Absolutely
not a chance. No,
thank you.
We love War Eddie.
We do.
So there you go.
Did you predict the score, Alex?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
No.
I think we'll win 1-0, and I think Maxi will get the goal.
Ooh.
Maxi to get the goal. And you think we'll keep a clean sheet against Manchester City?
We do something. Every season we do something weird. I mean, we beat Man U 1-0 with Bruce, with Matty Longstaff scoring a goal. And they weren't as bad back then. We haven't had an upset. We're due one. We really are due one. The Chelsea goal was lucky. The Liverpool goal was lucky. We could have kept clean sheets against both of them, and we were unlucky that we didn't. We're due something. I agree with the comments. We're either going to get drubbed 5-0 or we're going to win it ourselves 1-0. I don't think there's going to be any in between. And I think we're going to win.
I don't know what to say.
Well, there'll be no clean sheets in Miles that night if we do.
Hey!
Wow.
Dear. Billy zip it sometimes. Well, Martian Leader's going with a 2-1 win for the Toon as well. So there you go. I wouldn't say the Liverpool or Chelsea goals were lucky. Ooh, I don't know.
Havertz should have been on the pitch. The
Yeah,
Liverpool
exactly.
goal was because Shaw was down injured and they had a gap. It's not even an opinion, literally a fact. Sorry.
It's fair enough. Danielle.
Yes. I would have the same team as Billy, so I wouldn't play Miggy. I'd play Murphy. And I'm gonna go with Manchester City 3, Newcastle United 3.
Wow.
And I'm gonna say Big Joe.
I'm sorry. Just repeat that, please, Danielle.
Manchester City 3, Newcastle United 3.
I thought you said that. I just need to double check. I was.
Well, I was going for a loss before, but then obviously Alex has got in my head now, and he's motivated us. So now I'm all in, like balls to it. We're getting a point.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to say it's Big Joe because obviously it's always Big Joe for me. I think he's going to be. I think he'll score. I think ASM because I really want him to score. And let's put all this magazine crap behind. We'll move on. And
Indeed.
I think Mr. Wilson because my God, I've really needed him back, and I'd love to see it happen.
Mr. Wilson. Well, there you go.
Mr. Wilson.
Fair enough. I agree. Right. Alex says, would Danielle or the channel be interested in doing a show about the women's team? Might be an interesting show. We are going to be covering the women's team a lot more now.
We had a lovely time, didn't we, Paul?
Yeah, we did. It was great. It was a great day, and I think the ladies' team deserve the respect of more channels covering them. I know Adam does a lot of work with them, and promotes them in a good way. So do the lads at Newcastle Fans TV. They do it as well. So we will as well, and it can only help promote them even further, which will be a good thing. I Like Coffee says we will win 3-1. Good point, Danielle. Family help each other out. Indeed. Jason says Alex has been eating space cakes. He could be right, though. Oliver Houston says 4-0 City. Steve says 3-2 Toon win. I hope you're right, mate. Foxy says, yeah, I was referring to the Liverpool game. Joe Linton more effective in that midfield 3, in my opinion. Great 2 goals from Joe Linton versus Norwich. But again, it was Norwich. Lucas says, yes, Billy. Still not lucky, says Michael. Matthew, sorry. Michael says Chelsea game was a travesty. That was our best performance against a top team this season, discounting Man United as a top team. Danielle, your pitch has changed, according to George.
Really?
Yeah, that's an interesting. Is that your like sort of Italian name? Danielle.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. As long as we don't lose more than 3 on Sunday and put in a good performance, I'll be happy, says Matthew. Good evening, Stu. Hope you're well, mate. I do something mad, says Dan. 4-1-3-2. Shelby sitting, Bruno in the 10, J7 on the left, Maxi on the right, and Willock and Wilson up top. Don't know why, like it's just a feeling.
Kitchen sink.
Yeah. Kath says 2-0. Trippier on 80 minutes and Dan Burn on 90.
Lovely.
That would
I take that mind all day long.
Yeah. But again, a clean sheet. I don't know what Alex has been smoking today, but I hope he's right. Can't wait to see Bruno and Wilson link up, says Jim. Peter says, great show. Keep up the good work. Incidentally, I tried to join your Facebook group last week, but was rejected. Don't know why. You probably didn't accept the rules. Just accept the rules, mate. Reapply, but make sure you tick to accept the terms and conditions or the rules of the group. And then you'll be accepted in, no problem. Foxy says Man City 1, Newcastle 2. Miggy, a late super sub with 90 minutes and 91st minute goals. Cameras turned to Pep crying. If I have to commentate through all that, I don't know what the hell will happen to my blood pressure. If we're 1-0 down and then Miggy scores in the 90th and then we go and score again in the 91st minute, I am not responsible for my actions.
I think Billy might have to lead the review show on Sunday night if that happens, mind. Because your blood pressure will get too much.
I don't want to see Pep crying. I want the cameras on Eddie Howe. I want it on our manager, not on their manager. I want to see a knee slide.
A
knee slide, yes. Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Have a feeling Eddie wants the big upset since we are safe. He might throw the kitchen sink at them and go all out. Nathan says 2-0 with a Lascelles header and a late ASM breakaway goal. 2-0 says Gary Vett. Where's all this nil coming from? Have people forgot we're playing Manchester City here?
It's what happens. This is what happens, though. But we'll get washed with the like hysteria and the just hope. It's the hope. That's what it is. You get it. You get a match day and you think, well, all the way through the week, you're like, oh, we're going to get hammered on Sunday. And then you get Friday and you're like, oh, I don't know, mind. And then it starts to, and then you get together with your pals like we're doing now, and all of a sudden, that's what it is. It gets
a
you.
lot of people predicted a loss for Liverpool, didn't they? A lot of people predicted 3-0s, 4-0s losses, and then we did all right, to be fair. So maybe people are, expecting we will try and.
I mean, here's another one, Carl. 1-0 target to score.
Go on, Carl.
Dan's going for a 1-1 draw. Spider says, I feel is that a reprieve coming on? A 2-0 win, 2-1 win,
yes,
Newcastle
Spider.
and Bruno.
Yes.
Lion Bars and Windmills, says Jim.
Mm-hmm.
We are sleeping giant, just starting to stretch our legs. Let's be patient. Dominic says, I think it will be a 2-2 draw with Joe and Callum. Lock up your aunties, your nuns, and your fish, says Julie. Indeed. Renier says 3-0 Man City. Guess what Andrew's going for?
7-0.
He is.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp and Mike Dean will do the knee slide along with Eddie Howe.
Stuart Atwell.
The Reno Benton might make a huge bonus for all players with the upgrades talked about. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a later show. Hope, yes, Danielle, very much 14 years of crap. We deserve a win. Yes, George says 2-2. Big Scott 2-1 with a touch of optimism. 1-0 says Adam with a maxi 89th minute. We are going for a late winner here by the looks of things. Richie is going to score first. Mike says 3-1 to City. Paul, if Toon score the winner in stoppage, my guess is you'd be getting naked in front of the window. I don't know why people think that of me. Need to do predictions on who Big Joe's going to have a scrap with. I'm going with Fernandinho.
Funny you should say that. I haven't said this yet, but I'm predicting. I'm very. What's the right word? I feel a red card in this game. I really do. I feel like City are going to be really.
You're normally right with these things,
I know.
Well, they're going to be quite emotional, aren't they? And if they're not in a winning position as the game ticks on, they're going to get leery.
So what you're saying is, Alex, get into them and kick them up the arse as soon as it kicks off.
I think it's going to be scrappy. Liverpool got quite scrappy as well, to be fair. The opposition don't like it when Big Joe and Shelvey flies in. They get really arsey. So, especially with Wilson back as well, I can see.
You might see a lot of crying and a lot of like whinging around the referee again. The standard.
Yeah.
If it's 0-0 after like an hour, it's going to get so dirty, I think.
Probably. Albie says going 2-1 to the Toon, Wilson and ASM. Foxy says great show. All four of you offer something different to the channel. Best Newcastle channel out there. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Foxy.
Cheers, Foxy, mate. Great modern, says Truls. Indeed, we have the best mods in the world.
We do.
Dark by Design says, hope we do Liverpool a big favour. I hate watching City pass the ball 100 times and move it forward 2 yards until they're so boring to watch. Say that again, Paul. Yeah, I will. City. Paul says, 1-0 to the Toon, Big Joe to score. Another nil. Supposedly last half of City versus Madrid, 2 of Man City centre-backs had a howler. Take a bit of that. Thanks for great work, great show, guys, and all the hard work behind the scenes. Hope we don't get shagged by VAR. I can't be asked for having to scream at the ref again.
Jared Gillett, isn't it, on VAR?
Yeah. Right. I will go for exactly the same team as Billy and Danielle have gone, and I'm going for a. I've just smacked my glasses off me right now. Woo! Hello, stars. Are there ducks flying around my head? Holy cow. I'll not be doing that again in a hurry. Ronald, thanks for your £10 super chat. I think it's £10. I'm concussed. I hope Liverpool and Man City lose this weekend. Yes, I do as well. Hey, talk about space cakes, Alex. I tell you what. 3-1 Newcastle. That may be concussion talking, but listen, I've said it now. I'm not going back on it.
Hang on. Kraft hat trick. I'm just checking for concussion.
No, No, I think Bruno's going to get one. I think, and Wilson's going to get two.
Ooh,
I think he's going
lovely.
to come back with a bang.
A brace.
Yeah, and Dan's right. We'll score with only 10% possession. We'll score 3 goals with 10% possession.
Correct.
So yeah,
everybody thinks Wilson's going to score as well. A lot of Wilson predictions.
I'd love it.
I'm excited to see Wilson back
because we haven't cry.
seen him. We've had a lot of players who've been away and then come back with lots of fresh training, and they've changed their game a bit and improved. I wonder if we're going to see some new things from Wilson, because he's amazing anyway. So I'm excited to see if he's added bits to his game. This will be great.
Renier says, I prefer Paul saying Facebook or book. I don't say Facebook. I don't know Macam. Can each of you please say Facebook one after the other, because I love the accents. I'll go first. Facebook.
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 Yeah, who's trying to put the fake accent on there out of the 4 of us? Answers on a postcard, please. Jesus. Normally Alex would be Facebook. Yeah.
I don't think he's ever said yeah the whole time I've known him.
No, he hasn't actually. Adam says 2-0 to Toon, another nil. Chipper says Ginger's on PD's channel talking crap. Okay. Nice. Paul, you need a good kip after that prediction. A win, awesome 3 points, says Paul. If Liverpool win on Saturday, how do you think that will affect City? It'll put the pressure on them. Simple as that.
Heat is on.
Ron says, Paul, did you know you look like Eric Morecambe when you wobbled your glasses?
Steve Bruce is Eric Morecambe. You're playing the wrong players, Brucey. I'm playing all the right players. Not necessarily
Indeed.
Oh God, it's getting to this time of the show again.
Yeah, well, have you looked at that? Alex is unimpressed. We best move on. Dallas Schwartz says someone needs to tuck a comb in their sock and toss it at Grealish. I watch him fall all over himself, pimping on preening like a $2 tart as ASM smashes into the upper left corner. Let's hope you're right. Alex is the winner, apparently, from the Facebook competition. Indeed. Say cook. Cookbook. Cook and book. Cookbook.
Nah, the ones you've got to say pooper, scooper, and roller coaster. That's the Jimmy Carr stuff.
Roller coaster. Anyway. Let's just... Paul says, brilliant show, everyone. Apparently, we're just like the Spice Girls. Cheers, Ian. Cheswick says, Alex's posh accent makes me wonder if the Queen is on Facebook. Listen, Cheswick, I was practicing the South African accent yesterday at Susan's house, and she was having an absolute howl at me because I was actually watching a YouTube video how to speak in a South African accent. It didn't go well. Susan practically wet herself laughing at me. It was terrible. It was terrible. Also avocado in a Geordie accent. What have we turned into here? Are people Kawasaki? There's a good one. Kawasaki. Kanibagachuda. Anyway, Ken says anyone who thinks we will win against City needs to give their heads a wobble. Save Wilson and trips for Arsenal and Burnley. Ken bringing a bit of level-headedness back to the show.
We beat them with worse players than we've got now. So.
Indeed. Anyway, show's coming up on Sunday at 4 p.m. Join the live watch along with myself, starting at 4 p.m. And God knows what's going to happen during that, but it'll be a good laugh whichever way it is. Knock Sky off. You don't need to listen to their bullshit commentary. Watch the game and listen to me have a rant because I'm sure I'm going to have a few. On Sunday. Then the same night, 8 p.m. on Sunday night, we have the match review. And as you can see, the 4 of us are back for that. I love those animated heads now. I can put them in the thumbnails and everything. So that should be a really good show. Hopefully celebrating, at least getting something out of the game. And Monday night at 8 p.m. is the transfer show with me and the Statman again. Once again, talking about potential signings for the Toon come the summer window. Remember?
I've listened to all your comments as well, and
yes, he has.
I've written down all the names, and I actually watched all of the bloody European games the other night with Ryan. I had 3 screens on. My missus was laughing at me. I was watching Sinistera for Feyenoord. I was watching Ndika for Frankfurt. I was watching all of them. So
you see the dedication Alex goes to bringing it to bring the. But remember, stats mean nothing. Anyway, I didn't say that. I'm taking the P out of a certain person. If we press Edison and the defense, we might get something from a mistake. Malcolm says this show makes my day. Adam says we're not doing any more. I've had enough. Had away, man, mother man. Had away, man, mother man. Bottle of Brune. Paul speaks fluent Moroccan. Piss off.
He does.
Paul, if you want to say something in a South African accent, think Aussie, but imagine yourself fighting with a bull.
Too much feelings.
I can't remember the phrase that I was learning on YouTube last night.
The only phrase I know is the bad phrase from that movie with the aliens, the District 9.
Yeah, District 9 or something. Yeah, I remember that one.
About the prawns,
not
but you're not allowed to say the first bit.
All right, man. All right, man.
It's all six in valence.
All right, man. All right, man. I'm probably just absolutely ripping. Cesare will be disturbed right now. Paul, you need to break the 2,000 in the chat on Sunday if we can. That would be nice. That would be awesome. Jason says 2-1 to the Toon. Put your house on it. No.
Your house here, Jace.
Yeah. Andy says how 5-0. That'd be nice. See you online Sunday. Love this show, says Andrew. Still haven't tried the Danish accent, Paul. Thomas, I have not got a clue. I will. I'm going to have to go on YouTube and study it again.
Jan Mulby, he had a Danish accent, didn't he?
Chicken Danish. Yeah, the most Danish accent I've ever heard in my life. Carl says 2-1. How are the lads? Hit that like button, Paul. Tuners, very dedicated team, Paul. They are. Loving the bits. Have you tried Ches? Alex, best signing after Bruno. We'll do all that after the season's ended when we do we're going to do like a big award show and stuff like that.
I think give it a go Sunday. Alex is the best signing after Bruno.
I don't know. I don't have a magic hat.
And who's the best signing after Alex? Billy. Whoop, whoop.
And me and Danielle are just veterans, aren't we? You know, we just veterans. People always think I'm the other Ginger. Oh dear God, yeah, Ginger Geordie. Brummies from South Africa, Paul. No, all right, all right, all right, man, all right, man. I don't know. I had it do a tea last night. He's 60 beast. Why do you have to go down the sexual route, Billy? It's wrong.
Because they say 6 to the sex, don't they?
60 beast. 60 beast. I don't know. Like to see Cesare and me in the fan forum. Cesare has been in the fan forum many times.
Back in the day.
How did you manage a show without mentioning Bruno? Play him as a false 9. We've gone through we've mentioned Bruno. Listen, Bruno just
people want Shelby as a 10, Willock as a false 9, Bruno we can't play everybody up front. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
What the F was that, Paul? Well, it certainly wasn't a Brummy accent. I was actually trying South African. I'm trying.
Brummy.
It wasn't Brummy.
Like
it wasn't Brummy. And listen, I promised you I would never ever try a Brummy accent again because it fails many times.
It's always just got to go up at the end of every sentence. You just go up. It's going to sound like you're a bit lost. Where am I?
Julie?
Sorry.
Wasn't me.
I mean, it's based on a Bon Lahore. He's tainted me. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's lovely.
You're in for it now
people.
In that group chat, Alex. That's it.
No, I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Joshua says, great fun watching you guys, Paul, Alex, Danielle, and Billy. Thank you, mate. It's incredible how many different accents there are in the UK. I live in Canada now, and there's basically one here, perhaps two with the Quebec folks and their French influence. They speak it like that. I'm not even going there. It's too late on a Friday night to try accents. I thought it was Indian, says Andrew. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's hope not.
Right. If you have enjoyed the show tonight, guys, please do hit that like button, hit the thumbs up, and let YouTube know something good is happening on this channel. If you're new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button as well. You can also become a member of the Toon Review by hitting the join button. If you're on iOS, please go across to Instagram follow the channel link on there, and it will take you to a desktop version where you can become a member quite easily. Do hit the notification button as well, which will notify you when we do upload or we schedule a live show. And thank you to all the super chatters tonight. Very, very kind. And your continued donations. Remember, if you're watching this on a rerun or you're watching a recorded video, you can now super chat as well by hitting the thanks button, which is just underneath the video itself with a little $ next to it. So thank you very much if you do that when we're not online. It'll be very kind, but I will see it and I will reply to it if you do. Thank you, you three, for another marvelous show, and thank you to Julian, Chesry, and Thomas behind the scenes, modding away, and of course, get well soon, Susie, with a migraine. Somebody mentioned custard there. Who mentioned custard?
Custard.
Get away. Our custard slice is still £1. God, I can't remember. Yeah, remember when I used to do that?
Yeah.
Sausage roll £1.
£1. Mm-hmm.
Custard snacks is £1. Yeah, God. Long time ago. Anyway, as I watch the viewers suddenly disappearing into the sunset, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And, of course, a big shout-out to Geordie Riffs, premium guitar lessons for beginners and children based here in the Northeast, guitar repairs and servicing, their own recording studio, and they're offering your first guitar lesson free of charge if you mention Le Toon Review. You can find them at geordieriffs.co.uk on interweb, Instagram at Geordie Riffs, and Facebook Geordie Riffs Official. Give Graham and Natalie a shout for all your guitar needs. Right, I will be back on Sunday at 4 p.m. This bunch of rabble will be back on Sunday night at 8 p.m. for the review. Have a fantastic weekend, guys, and we'll see you soon. Be kind. Take care. Good night.
How are the lads?